good morning. How are you, my guys? Hope you are doing well. It's your sister Rosalyn's here once again. Hope everything is fine. Today we want to talk about African culture, especially Luo culture, how boys used, or they are still building their homes in a homestead, in their father's homestead. I believe in each and every country, each and every continent, we have different ways, or we have different cultures. And this is what makes us different from one ethnic to the other. And it's good to respect other people's ethnicity. In Africa, especially in Kenya, Luo culture, that is in Nyanza part, western part of Kenya, the firstborn, or the boy, before he gets married, he was, or he should build his own house. That is called Simba. His own house in the homestead of the father. His father's homestead, then he built his first house. This first house, even the father can build for him, no problem, before he is married. This first house, if he's the first son, he should build on the right hand side. When you are sitting, the mother of the, or the house of the father, the house of the mother faces straight, directly opposite the gate, the main gate, that is. We have different gates. A homestead can have 3 or 4 different panya routes, gates, but we have one main gate. So the house of the mother should face opposite directly the gate, the main gate, that is. So when you sit at the door of the mother, of his mother, his house should be on the right side. When you are facing the gate, his house should be on the right side, and the second boy on the left, and the third boy on the right, fourth boy on the left, like that. They alternate, not like no. Firstborn on the right, secondborn on the left, thirdborn on the right, like that. So this house, not a home, this house, he should build it before he gets married. And when he gets married, because years back, even now, a man was not allowed to build his own home before he's married. He should marry first, pay the dowry of his wife, then he go and build his home outside his father's homestead. But before that, he should build his house inside his father's homestead. If he delayed, or if he was born in town, he was raised in town, he got married, before he built this Simba, this house, we call it Simba. This Simba, even if he gets married, no woman can claim this house. You know, women, we like saying, hii ni nyumba yangu. Hiyo sio nyumba ya mtu. That man is allowed to bring any woman. Any woman is allowed in that house, because that is the house of a man. After building this Simba, which his father can help him, or if he's financially stable, he can build his just a small house, just for him. As boys, they need their space. When they grow, they need their space. So instead of bringing their friends in their mother's house, they have their own separate house, that is called Simba. So whenever they have their friends, they are allowed to stay there. That Simba, his mother is not allowed to open the door of that Simba. because we say that is like you are trespassing. That is your son's privacy. So if the mother needs something from that house, she should send the young kids, maybe the wajuku or any young child around. So when this boy marries, before he builds a simba, what happens? Because there are some boys, they just stay in town, or they just stay, they don't build a raka, then they get married in town. He doesn't have a house in the village. What happens? In this case, what usually happens, a man, he is married, yes, but he should not come with his wife the day he's building his first house. He should come alone, build his own house, sleep there for 4 days. In other communities, they'll tell you he should sleep there with another woman. That is to open for the main wife to come. Of which, to me, or in some cultures, they don't. Nowadays, especially the homes where the parents are saved, they'll say no, that one should not happen. Since our son is married, no problem. He just sleep there alone for 4 days. He goes back, or after 4 days, the wife now is allowed to come and sleep in that house. Even if she sleeps in that house is not for her. That simba is for the boy or the man. So the man can bring any woman in that house. If the first wife goes, he can marry another wife, brings. He can marry another wife, bring. That house has no owner. That is the house for the man. After marrying this wife, he has built his first house, or he built his first house before marrying. He can bring this wife in that house. Then after some time, he's allowed to again build another house for the wife. So this is the wife's house. Tunaita nyumba ya mke, odhako, go to wife now. So this is where this woman can claim, this is my house. Why? Because when the drawing of that structure, is it called structure or construction, was being made, she was there. And there is a certain, they call it timber or wood or whichever, she's supposed to put inside the first timber at the corner. Huyo mwanamke na bwanake ndio wanaweka. That is to symbolize that that house belongs to that woman. Even if they differ later, the woman goes, the man marries another woman, that house is not for that second woman. That house belongs to the first wife. But the second, the third, the fourth woman, they are allowed to live in that house. But that house belongs to the first wife. So, when the man has built this house, the first house has to be demolished. They are not supposed to be the two of them there, no. The first house has to be demolished down. So the second house is the one we call the house for the woman, odhako. So this odhako, the woman is allowed. The day of building, the woman should cook chicken for kayuoche, mashemeji, the in-laws, those men around, the cousins and the brothers of this husband. They come together on that day, on that evening. That is after the structure has been made. The woman cooks with the help of other women or friends. Then they serve food to the shemejis who are sitting there. In other communities, they'll allow even the alcohol, this traditional type of alcohol, But in some communities where the parents are saved, they'll say no, no alcohol. They just cook chicken, meat, whichever the food is there, they eat. After some time, a man, now he has his own home, he has his own house with his wife, with the children, if God blesses them with the children. He is allowed to take the cows. His father can give him cows if he has, or the man should work hard and get cows and take the dowry to the woman's place, to the woman's parents. That is to pay dowry, the nyombo koro. He goes and nyombo to nyomo dhako, that is, these cows he should buy for himself, or the father, his father or his uncle can give him. They can be 2, 10, whichever the numbers he gets, he takes to his in-laws. When he goes to in-laws, he eats the chicken, like the previous video I made sometimes back. You can refer back to my previous video about dowry payment. When he comes here, now he's allowed to make his own home. That is goyodala. This goyodala is again another process. This first son, he is expected on that day of goyodala, he must have paid the dowry for this lady. He must have eaten the chicken from his in-laws, that is the lady's home. He must have at least given some token, a year, to her, to his family, to the family of the lady. So now he's ready to go goyodala. In this case, remember here in goyodala also it differs. The first son has to goyodala first. He has to build his homestead first, is when he opens for the second son, and then the third son, and then the fourth son, like that. But again, it depends if they have enough land for all these people. But if they don't have enough land, some boys might be more blessed than the other maybe. So the first son, if he's more blessed, he can say, me, I'm going to buy a land somewhere, not here in the, not in the ancestral land. I'm going to buy a land somewhere. So the second son can build, the third son build, the fourth son, like that. But anyone who has money, if you have money and you feel like goyodala, you can goyodala earlier than your elder, but not in the ancestral land. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Owe ni kijana wa pili ama watatu ama wanne, but you feel that your elder brother is delaying you. Kuna boys, they're elders, they're the eldest, but they're too slow. They're too slow, even to pay dowry, they're too slow. They don't do their things quickly. Sometimes because of financial issues, sometimes just because they are comfortable, they don't want to rush things. Another man said, sitaki kuacha wazazi wangu kwa boma peke yao, nataka kukaa nao. And he's the first son. He should build his home, give space to the others, but he's feeling like he should not do it. He doesn't want to move out of his father's home. So the second son is allowed to build a home, but not in the ancestral land. He should get some money, buy a land somewhere, and build his own home, waiting for the first son. Or he can just decide to stay away from the ancestral land, which is very much okay. On this goyodala day, when they go to goyodala, they should not gero the first main house. They should not gero main house on the first day. No. They get a house. They should build a house which is facing the opposite, not even the opposite, hmm? Not facing the main gate, no, facing the side of the boma. So when he built this house, it is just a small house. He can sleep there with his wife for 3 days, 4 days, even for a week. Then he starts the process of building the main house which faces the main gate straight. Are we understanding one another? This main house should straight face the main gate. What if there are 2 or 3 wives? This Goyodala day, if they are more than one wife, the Goyodala day, they Goyodala with the first main wife. The first main wife, hiyo ni boma yake, sio boma yao wengine, hiyo ni boma yake. So there are some men, if they have enough land, he will feel every woman should have her own home, her own home, which is very peaceful. I love that. Kila mtu akwe na boma yake huko, not that all of you mnapangwa kwa boma moja, no. But what if he doesn't have enough money, or if he doesn't have enough land? He will build the first wife's house should face straight the main gate, then the second wife on the right side facing the gate, but not directly the gate, but a little bit twisted. The third wife on the, all the houses should be on the right side, on the right hand side of the first wife's house, but they are facing, all of them, they are facing the main gate, but a little bit twisted. But the first wife's house should face the main gate, straight to the main gate, because she's the goat wife. Nyachira, that is the second wife, and the third wife, and whichever, their houses should be twisted a little bit to the main gate. On this day also, their chicken, I think 1 chicken or 2, I don't know, 1 chicken. One day I'll make my own home, I'll know this. 1 chicken must be slaughtered. A chicken must be slaughtered. That is mainly for the men. But why not? Why only men? Surely. Me hapo nita protest. Why only men should eat the chicken? What about women? Years back in Luo culture, women were not allowed to eat chicken. Chicken, mayai, these vitu tamu tamu women were not allowed to eat. But sijaisikia kule wamesema mwanamke asikule sukuma, mwanamke asikule mboga. Mbona hiyo maneno? Okay, but nowadays we are civilized. Tunakula mpaka imondo. Walunje. Nowadays women eat imondo. But don't try that one in western part of Kenya. Don't try eating imondo. Utarudi kwenyu hiyo siku. So, on this day, the main wife cooks, serves food to her in-laws. Those are the cousins to the husband. They eat together that day. It's like a celebration kind of. And remember, everything in Luo culture has to be stamped with the sex and food. Sex and chicken especially. Sex and chicken. That night, they must have sex. That night, they must cook chicken. Food. Jaluogi chiemo. Kachama. That day, they have to eat food. That chicken plus the other food you have cooked, but the main food there is chicken. That night, the husband has to sleep with the first wife, if there are more than one wife. But if she's the only wife, he's free also that night They must have sex with their wife. That is to stamp the authority, or to stamp that this home belongs to us. Are we together? Any question? And the generation continues. And when they have sons, they start again. First son on the right, second son on the left, like that. Wanaenda waki-exchangeana, waki-alternate. Are we together? Up to that extent, guys, give it a thumb up, comment. Again, subscribe. Tafadhalini.